Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.
Hello. Welcome to episode 116 of 15 Minutes of Genius. So we bring people on our show here not to just talk about Genius Juice or do shameless promotion of our product, because you know what, I do enough of that anyway on LinkedIn. This is really about the owners, the entrepreneurs, the visionaries that are inspired to change the world and make a dent in the universe, as Steve Jobs says. So yeah, we have great entrepreneurs on here. This woman is awesome. She's full of energy. She has a great product. It's unique. It's different. And it's starting to blow up on the East Coast. But before introducing her, big plug to Mark Nicholas, Mark at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. There he is. And I'm in the background. You know, it's like funny, like you're waving, it's your 5 seconds on camera, and I'm like, wait a minute, look at me. I'm so selfish. I'm just kidding. So that is our guy. He's awesome. He does all the production here. If you ever want to have your own podcasts are huge. Make sure to reach out to this guy, Mark N. at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. All right, so our guest is Tiffany Yarde. I first thought her last name was pronounced Yarde, so just Tiffany Yarde. And she is the co-founder of Shoki Beverages Corp. A little bit about her. For over 15 years, she's worked in accounting, marketing, operations, and business development for international companies. She focuses her energy on a full range of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Professional development programs, wine education, who doesn't love that, and cannabis business ventures that help propel people and organizations to becoming better stewards of the global communities that we serve. Tiffany, how are you?
I am doing well and so honored to be on this stellar platform. Thanks for having me tonight.
Absolutely. We're just honored that you're staying up this late on the East Coast because we're talking, this shows how hard this woman works. It is 10 o'clock at night right now on her side. It's 7 p.m. here. It's a party here. I mean, it's like, you know, we're still just getting going, but 10 p.m., you're not winding down. You keep going. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm bi-coastal. So as far as I'm concerned, it's happy hour somewhere. Always.
Always happy hour somewhere. I love that. All right. So let's get into your product and your story. We talked about it offline. I was not deeply familiar with the brand or the product until we started connecting on LinkedIn and getting you on our show. But tell us about it, because this is an interesting space, which is cannabis. And it's a cannabis-infused beverage, which is even more interesting, which is now starting to trend, right? It's been trending. So tell us more about the product, where you're at, and also kind of the regulations behind it, and hope, you know, what's going to happen in the next year or two, do you think, to help your brand?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I fell into cannabis by accident. I was on holiday in 2017 in Ghana, West Africa, visiting some great friends and family, and literally turning up. I'd worked 26 weekends that year, closing a few deals. And when I tell you exhausted, I had no idea. 6 weeks later, I come back to New York with a business plan. So who would later be my co-founder, Georgia Huwesi, who's based in Accra, Ghana. He was making these amazing juices by night and also by day, a tech salesperson. And so we connected, hit it off, and I couldn't shake the idea about what would it mean to bring some of his recipes to another market, and what would it mean to kind of repurpose some of my marketing skills, especially on the B2B side, to see what we can really shake up. And this really was ultimately how Shoki was born. It's an Afro-Caribbean a spirit-free cocktail mixer that makes awesome infused products for the everyday consumer. We consider ourselves a chasm greeter, so to speak. That scary dip from being someone who's never touched a cannabis product to then becoming a moderate user. And how do we kind of welcome you in? Through Beverage. And so what we do is take all of the gorgeous flavors from our heritage, whether that's West African, my family Caribbean. I'm a first generation American here in the States. My family immigrated to New York from the island of Barbados back in the 1970s. And so when we thought about what flavors we wanted to bring to light, bring to market, we didn't want it relegated to the ethnic food aisles of grocers. We wanted it front and center of your lifestyle. And what it ended up looking like was flavors that, again, in West Africa known as sobolo, but in the Caribbean known as sorrel, well, we named ours Ruby Spice. And it's a beautiful homage to the Christmas drinks we loved as children, infused now with cannabis. Now, what does it mean to bring a traditional CPG idea into cannabis? The wildest ride of your life. Especially knowing where cannabis is now, we chose California as a great place to launch. A beautiful foodie, I call it foodie country, technically, especially if you're in NorCal. Wine country's in our backyard. And we partnered with some fantastic formulators, fantastic infusers, those who worked with fourth generation growers of cannabis to come up with the beautiful flavors that we have on market now. Now, one thing you'll know about cannabis is that ultimately, especially in the beverage side, it mirrors the alcohol space. The three-tier system, as a manufacturer not being able to talk directly to consumers, you go through dispensaries. You go through a same buying process that you would for placement. And so what you get to do is really transfer the skills from various industries that you have experience and hit the ground. So that's what we did in a nutshell. And so knowing that our team is international upfront has been awesome, because you have this beautiful vantage point of a global footprint that pays homage to global ingredients, beautiful flavors, and again, inspired by the heritage that raised us.
Love it. That is such a great overview of everything from the history, the source, the inspiration to create this, the ingredients, sustainably sourced around the world. Awesome. I don't think we've had a guest that has succinctly, actually put everything together within a 2-minute intro or 3-minute. So
I'm from New York. You gotta talk fast.
Yeah, it's big props to just everything, boom, 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 giving me the whole history from beginning to end. What you just said probably would take me 3.5 hours to say that. I'd be like, let me tell you about this.
Hours. I love your show, so please take your time always.
15 hours of genius. I'll be like Larry David, from the show Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm just going to over-explain everything and over-analyze everything. It's a Jewish thing. Let's not worry about that. Okay, let's move on. All right, so cannabis. Where do you source it from? Where's it coming from? How is it made? Tell us more about just the quality of it. And then also, is this just basically cannabis in a ready-to-drink format, and it's at dispensaries, right?
Right on. Nothing too overly complicated as it relates to what it is to consume cannabis in a liquid form. Now, all cannabis isn't created equal. And so thinking about how you dose, what method you choose to consume cannabis matters. Most popularly, 3 years ago, we were laughed out of boardrooms when we brought this idea to market, because they were saying, flower's king. Who the heck is going to be drinking this thing? It's going to be this niche sector forever. And I said, nope, I don't believe you. My grandmother likes this at home. So I know if my grandmother likes it, there's a space in this market for it. And so we just kept pushing on. That was 3 years ago. With that said, in thinking about, beyond flower, what does that look like? It's such a vast world, and it varies state to state. If you don't live or work in a city and or state where there is a vibrant cannabis market, a vibrant legal cannabis market with licensed producers, you don't really get the same exposure to quality products. And so what that looks like now, again, California is a prime example. You walk into a dispensary today in 2021, you've got beautiful sirachas, extra virgin olive oils infused with cannabis, and you now integrate it into your food. Keto-friendly chocolates. The world's really your oyster as it relates to infusion. And that explosion happened because wonderful scientists, like the scientists that I work with in Oakland, California, called Vertosa Labs, they were able to repurpose and re-engineer the science that, ultimately keeps your salad dressing from separating. 10 years ago, you walked in the supermarket and you'd see the oil on top, this fat base in the bottom, and they say, Wishbone or something. Now, you look at Wishbone products as an example, it stays fully suspended. What does that look like? That's a nano-emulsion technology that keeps the oil and the water playing nice and staying fully suspended. So you never see that separation anymore, which again keeps it beautiful on shelf and of course looking pleasant to the eye for the consumer, which again helps sail through. And so that same science applied to cannabis, because again, cannabis flower converted to an oil, then added to a finished product is a traditional method. If you can put a protein jacket around that cannabis oil, it'll play in that water and never separate. And so ultimately, that's what the explosion happened for many of these CPG products, because now you don't have to worry about the oil situation. You can now get super creative. And Shoki is one of those brands that took advantage of that technology and partnered with Vertosa Labs in Oakland.
Yeah, I've heard of Vertosa, actually. I see advertisements from them all the time. They're working in CBD, they're doing cannabis, THC, the whole thing. What is the effect of drinking one of your drinks? Like, how do you feel? How does it make you feel? What is the average like reaction or effect from someone having one of your beverages? Do you drink the whole thing? Do you nurse it over a period of time? Tell us more about that.
Absolutely. So up until this point, our cannabis infused products in particular were 3 cocktails per bottle. So you're looking at 12 ounces, 4-ounce pours, and again, the same size of a Negroni, same size as a margarita mix. And so with that said, what people kind of were used to up until the nano emulsion explosion of just the science and the quality products you see in the market now, folks would have to wait an hour and a half after a brownie, a gummy, traditional candy, so to speak, because it had to pass through your body, be processed by your liver, and then by the time it hits your bloodstream, you're headed to Venus for like 2 days because you can't get on high. And so what would end up happening is people would have bad experiences, because what people really want is what they called a fast onset. For this euphoric experience to come on within the first 5 to 10 minutes, similar to a glass of wine. You know, you leave work, hit the happy hour scene, and you just want to unplug for the day. We look for that level of escape in the day-to-day, but we need to be able to control it. And so what ended up happening was, again, with the nano-emulsion technology, you get the fast onset. So with Shoki, you pour out a cocktail. Again, it's 3 in a bottle. And we are introducing our single serve in Q2 2022. So shout out to our Cali team. With that said, first 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to feel something. And that something is going to be a level of elevation that's going to be based on your physiology. Now, people who are super active, high metabolism, tend to get buzz quickly, but they come down quickly. Because of the nano-emulsion technology, your body will expel it quicker. And so you're not going to have this elongated, euphoric experience where you're like, it's been 5 hours. Why do I still feel high? And so it'll happen with nano-emulsion technology is you'll come down within 2 hours. Very similar to an alcoholic experience. And again, that makes it trustworthy. And a customer that can trust you will allow you to, again, introduce new ideas, new products to them. And we're in it for the long haul to build a relationship with our customers and bring them control to their euphoric experiences. Because we are the better for you brand, and you don't need alcohol to get the same kind of buzz. And of course, to be as creative as you like, you know, in the DIY mixology scene. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're hoping to meet. But with Shoki, 5 minutes on, 2 hours off.
Okay, very cool. 5 minutes on, 2 hours off. I love that tagline, and I get it right away. So much better than some of the taglines I've come up with. So what is? So it's a cocktail mixer. I just want to make sure so you mix it, so you put it into, you do mix it with alcohol at the same time, right? But it recommends the dose of the alcohol, or is it by itself? Tell me more.
Yeah.
What do you mix? What do you mix it with? Is it only alcohol? Can you mix it with?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can do whatever you want with it. We have some folks who love a little bit of ginger ale, ginger beer, because all of our flavors have the undertone of ginger. Hand cut ginger that's actually pulled in from one of our grocers, where we again use only organic ginger, slice it and dice it. We then throw it into our big huge kettles and actually use all natural, just extract all that awesome flavor. There's nothing like it. Concentrates, powders can't do it like the real thing. And so we're so happy that again with our products in particular, the flavors, the pineapple, the mint, the ruby spice, as I mentioned earlier, with that hibiscus and warm spice blend, as well as our passion fruit, which is super popular right now. It gives you this great syrupy kind of really thick base that you throw over some ice. You dilute it down, or if you want to sip it slow, it's wonderful as the ice melts. Most of us out in the streets, I should say, when we hit the road and we're doing tastings, our customers love to just add a twist of lime and a little bit of LaCroix. That's really kind of the go-to. We call that the Shoki kiss. And so any one of our flavors works with that.
Love it.
You have some folks who love the mint flavor in particular with the Perrier cucumber seltzer. And so that's a fun mix in the summer. In the winter, we do have customers who like to add a very low alcohol by volume product, but legally we aren't allowed to mix alcohol in our products directly. And certainly that euphoria that comes with 2.5 milligrams per ounce. You throw 2 ounces into a glass or to a shaker, you got a 5 milligram base, which is a wonderful way to start out to see what you can handle. And of course, build your tolerance over time.
Got it. So sounds good. So basically, you don't have to drink it with alcohol. You can put it over ice. You can put a sparkling water in there, LaCroix, whatever. But to your choice, you can mix it with some alcohol if you want. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
we've seen it all. We've seen it all.
Love it. Love it. Well, this is
and
awesome.
That's the whole point of Shoki. You make it your own. You know, the Shoki name alone is a popular dance in West Africa.
I was going to ask that next.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also Japanese for demon slayer. And so you think about what it.
I'd rather have the dancing than the demon slaying thing. That's just my preference. Other people, maybe like the heavy metal, Gothic community, they would love the demon slaying. I think you got great markets here. You can market like, do you want to dance or hang out with demons?
Listen,
yeah.
You're talking my language. This is what I did. That's my favorite pastime.
Both of them, right? Both of them. All right, so it's getting ridiculous, but it's hilarious. Let's get to our next segment. I think maybe we've had some of Shoki right before this interview. It looks like it, doesn't it? All right, so maybe I have. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. That's up to you to decide. All right, but she's definitely had it. I can tell. All right, so I'm just giving you a hard time. All right, so let's get to our next segment, which is called Rapid Fire Questions.
Rapid Fire Questions.
All right, so we're going to go through a bunch of questions, just bam, 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 and answer it as quickly as you can. I think with the Shoki effect here, we should get some really damn good answers here. So, you ready?
I'm already scared.
If you can handle demon slaying, you can handle this. Okay, so let's do this. All right. For music, which decade is best, the 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Ooh, definitely 90s. Whitney Houston. Oh, yeah. Johnny Gill. Definitely 90s.
Yeah, I want to dance with somebody, and so many great songs. Oh, my God. Yeah, I grew up on listening to that. It was actually a lot of her songs were at my bar mitzvah. Random fact from the Genius Show. All right.
Oh.
What do you do for exercise?
Let's see. Exercise. I will admit I've got the COVID 30 at this point. And so I give myself plenty of grace through the season. Prior to COVID, I did love weightlifting and strength training in particular at my local gym. And that was 6 days a week. So, but then again, I'm giving myself grace until 2022. I can get back in there.
There you go. You got some time. No worries. Movie you can watch an unlimited amount of times.
Oh, Lord of the Rings, no doubt.
Lord of the Rings.
I can go 9 hours every holiday weekend, extended weekend if I have some time. Once upon a time, that was really my go-to. I saw every single one in theaters. I mean, that's the epics. I love epics.
Love it. Flavor, chocolate or vanilla?
Ooh. Honestly, I would go vanilla on happy days. Stressful days, chocolate.
Love it. I'm exactly the same way. Favorite country to travel to?
Oh, Barbados, of course.
Yeah,
the gem of the
country.
Caribbean, my hometown.
Love it. Favorite Star Wars character?
Ooh, Darth Vader. He's completely
Darth Vader. First time anyone's answered Darth Vader on the history of the show. So very cool. No wonder you're so good at demon slaying. You're Darth Vader, right? All right.
I mean, once I was given the list of the entire body of work, and I had to watch it in order. Once I got to know his backstory, I just got him. He was slaying his own demons, man. He just got caught up.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he just got mixed up with the wrong crowd. But I will say, in Return of the Jedi, when he finally demasked in front of Luke Skywalker and his son, and he's like, "I want to see you with my own eyes." I mean, it was a beautiful scene. It showed how fragile and emotional that he was, and he never knew what he looked like for the entire franchise until the last 20 minutes. That actually almost made me cry. I'm like, oh my God, that's what he looks like? He's not this powerful guy. He's very fragile and broken down. Anyway. Broken man. Underneath all that, underneath the power and the lightsaber and slicing people's heads off, a broken man. Anyway.
Who had a heart that just happened to be broken. It's hard to get a broken heart. A broken heart.
So, yeah. Next.
I feel like we're having we got to take this show on the road, Alex.
Exactly. We have a lot to talk about here, a lot of material. We got to be in the daytime talk show, right after The Real, right before Oprah. All right. So what is your...
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Right there. What is your spirit animal? We'll get through this. Spirit animal.
Oh, a spirit animal will be, I would say, an elephant.
Elephant, great.
They are exceptionally social. However, you step in their territory, they are not afraid to swat you and get you out of there.
Yeah. All it takes is one swat and you're gone. Do you like to drive an SUV, a coupe, or a truck?
Ooh, I will say a truck these days, only because, you get used to moving inventory the last year and a half. So yeah, I've learned how to whip it pretty good. I look pretty cool out there these days.
So for food, salty or sweet?
Oh, sweet, for sure.
Favorite day of the week and why?
I like Mondays.
Mondays, love it.
Honestly.
It's entrepreneurial
the why
day.
Is only because I got a lot of people that Sunday nights are usually I'm prepping for the week anyway. Mm-hmm. I send out about maybe 65 emails on Sunday nights. They're usually either queued up or sent. And then by Monday, I'm just hitting the reply and it just gets me energized for the week ahead.
Love that. Wow. Love it. Straight to the point, efficient. Uber or Lyft?
Oh, absolutely Lyft, hands down.
I love it. LeBron James, Jordan, or Kobe?
Oh, Kobe forever.
Kobe forever, man. All right. That's Terminator 1 or Terminator 2? Which one's better?
Ooh, Terminator 2. That's the first one I saw.
Yeah, me too. So my parents didn't let me see Terminator 1. They're like, it's too effed up. It's too scary. Too graphic. All right, last question. Favorite food or drink if you're stuck on a deserted island? You cannot say Shoki and you cannot say Genius Juice.
I was going to say that, Genius Juice. Darn, I thought I was ready for anything. I'm going to say Raisinets, guilty pleasure.
Raisinets, the chocolate-covered raisins, right?
That's it.
There you go, from the cinema. I'm sure there's a movie theater somewhere on the island. There's a movie theater on the island. You can get it at the concession stand. It'll be there,
Exactly.
All right, so that's rapid-fire questions with Tiffany Yarde. She's the co-founder, CEO of Shoki Beverage. So thank you for joining us on episode 116. It's a pleasure having you. This is a fun time. And thanks for taking the time and staying up late with us. So have a wonderful, wonderful night.
You too.
All right. Take care. All right. So that is episode 116 of 15 Minutes of Genius. Big plug to Mark Nicholas, Mark at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. For your editing desires, make sure to reach out to him. Please reach out to him. I mean, this guy's amazing at what he does. So photos, audio, video, special, montages and collages. You can have your own podcast here in the studio. He does it all. So that is it for 15 Minutes of Genius. Make sure to look us up on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. Every episode's on there, streaming worldwide. And one last thing, stay Shoki and genius, my friends.
Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.